One live. And we are live. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Good to see everyone out once again for another United show. So, plenty to get into on tonight's show. So, first and foremost, Qatar have received a boost in their bid to buy Manchester United. Not anything in terms of an official bid, but it's a problem Jim Ratcliffe is having, and it's definitely handed somewhat of an advantage to Qatar. So, this is currently in the chat, so we just have it down there, and we will keep it there throughout the show. So, it says, Sir Jim Ratcliffe's wealth has never been a distractor, and he can buy Manchester United. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's problem is that his money is not tied up in a bank. He does not actually have 5 to 6 billion needed to go out and buy Manchester United. What he does have is a lot of stocks, a lot of assets, maybe hold some gold, and stuff like that. So what he would have to do is go and sell his assets for 4 to 5 billion before he could even pay the Glazers the money. So once again, this has created issues with United's takeover bid, where we want to be, what we want to do. Let me just check this here real quickly. So yes, so the poll is up and running as well in the comments, guys. So you guys can see that. So that is, will Qatar buy Manchester United? Let me know, simple yes or no, based on the news that has come out tonight from football finance expert Kieran Maguire, a very reliable source, and he has said basically Jim Ratcliffe does not have the money on hand to buy Man United. What he would have to do is go out and sell some of his assets, his stocks, and that's how he would try to fund United. But that's going to cause big delays. So this could lead to a situation where Qatar and Sheikh Jassim are able, because they do have that money sitting in cash that they can just transfer it straight to the Glazers' bank account, they could move ahead in the race if a quick sale is what the Glazers are going to push for. They could theoretically jump in ahead of Radcliffe, make themselves number one in terms of the overall race to buy United, and from there, that could be game, set, and match. So we are running that in the comments. You guys can see it as well. Currently 10 votes as well, 100% of you guys going for Qatar. So keep voting on the poll down below, and we will continue with this story because I think it is important, because whilst it's not anything in terms of the club saying, yes, we are going to be sold to Sheikh Jassim and Qatar, it is something very noteworthy. If Radcliffe doesn't have the money on hand to pay for United, that means Qatar have a fantastic opportunity, a real big boost with their bid, where they can go out, get in front of Radcliffe, and they can make the deal happen. And that is definitely very, very good. So Kieran Maguire speaking again, as saying liquidating his assets will be much trickier for him should he choose to go down that route. If the acquisition is to be done through Ineos, I would suspect they will use a combination of existing cash resources going to the crowd to find more funding. So once again, it's good news for Qatar, because if Ineos are going to go and spend their money, they're going to have to get shareholder approval. They're going to have to go out and um get that sorted out. So this definitely is a big boost for Sheikh Jassim. There is no doubt in my mind that he will be sitting at home thinking, if Radcliffe doesn't have the money on hand, I can get in front of him. I can go put another offer in. I can go straight to a negotiation table, and I can make the bids happen. And that's certainly, for me, is what Sheikh Jassim will be thinking. He will be thinking that he has an opportunity to nip in front of Radcliffe and really start to make some progress with his bids. But I can see there's more people joining in. Welcome to the stream and welcome to the channel. You guys, if you want to keep voting on the poll in the comments, will Qatar buy Man United? Now, this, of course, is coming from the latest news that we are getting tonight from football financing expert Kieran Maguire. So, of course, he has been speaking to Football Insider on this. Basically, the upshot of it is, where we stand at the moment is Radcliffe, whilst some think he might be leading the race, he doesn't have the money on hand, and he has to go and raise that money. So he's either going to have to go to the banks, get debt out to get a big loan, F United, or he's going to have to sell his own assets. Either way, that is going to take a while, because banks can be very slow. And if you go up to a bank looking to borrow 5 to 6 billion, they're going they're, they're going to take a long time before getting that money through to you. So there certainly is an opportunity. There's a boost for Qatar to go out with this and put another bid in, make more progress on their bid. That's what they can do in this situation. For me, I think real possibility of something big happening in terms of that. Other words, in terms of the takeover, not too much progress, unfortunately, in other regards, but certainly for me, this is something that opens up a door to allow Qatar to make more progress on the takeover. And that, I think, is something that is very important. So I will, as well, of course, as always, bring you guys the very latest on it. So I will load up latest news on the takeover as well. But from what we have seen tonight from Kieran Maguire, he has studied the financials of Radcliffe, studied the financials of Qatar. There is certainly a real opportunity for Qatar to have a boost to move their bid forward because Radcliffe does not have the money on him. It's like if you're going to pay your friend like 20 quid or whatever for a pizza and um, all of a sudden he doesn't have the money to give you straight away for it. That's your pizza is not going to get bought until the money is there. That's what I mean. It's like there will be delays from Radcliffe's side, and with that, Al Thani and Qatar can certainly move ahead, in my opinion. So that is a big boost for them. In terms of other news coming out from United, in terms of, let me just double check here, just to make sure I'm getting everything right, because the news is popping up in front of me. But in terms of the overall progress with the takeover, it does look like another deadline is coming, and that hopefully will come up this week. Now, it was said last week, of course, that the big day would be Friday. Friday was meant to be the day a preferred bidder was named. That's come out from the Independent. Now, according to the Daily Mail and according as well to Simon Jones of the Mail, that's been pushed back by 1 week. So that will take place probably this week. So that will certainly be something to keep an eye out on. I definitely think it will be interesting. We will, of course, see one of the Glazers, at least one of them, at the FA Cup final Saturday. So that will be something. We will, of course, take note of where they've been. They will be spotted in London. I am sure of it. They always are. And if they're staying once again with the Al Thanis in their in the hotel where they stayed for the Women's FA Cup, something will happen, because I remember very clearly, like last week, whenever the fourth bid from Qatar went in, the Glazers stayed in an Al Thani's hotel. If that happens again, we cannot rule out the possibility of another bid going in from Qatar, and that would join up quite nicely with a lot of reports that Al Thani was thinking about putting in a fifth bid. So, what does that mean? Definitely one to keep an eye out on. That is the upshot of that one. If they are once again staying with Al Thani near the club's hotels, the club's offices as well, certainly Al Thani could be putting in another bid. So we will definitely keep an eye out on that one. Something to be keenly aware of, I'm sure, for you guys. But in terms of the overall progress with this takeover, we are once again stalling. Now, Eric Ten Hag did an interview yesterday. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. It was with Henry Winter of the Times. Now, Eric Ten Hag, he came out with a lot of details in that. A lot of things we wouldn't expected him to have come out with. But he did give us the information. Oh, there is Lucky Singh in the comments. Good to see you, man. Good to see you back on the channel. Let's go to the hotel and meet Avram Glazer again. Be interesting. I'm sure if Avram Glazer saw a lot of United fans, he definitely would be running away from those guys. So in terms of the Daily Mirror, so they've been talking, of course, about the takeover with some of the latest news. Anybody joining in, the latest is in the comments. That is coming from Football Insider and Kieran Maguire, who is a football finance expert. He has looked at the accounts of Jim Ratcliffe, he has looked at Qatar's, and what he has come to the conclusion is that Jim Ratcliffe does not have the money as of this moment in time to buy United. Now, he can go and sell some of his stocks, sell some of his products, sell some of his company, perhaps. He can go to the bank and get a loan. But what that does mean is more delays. And that is going to give Al Thani a boost, because he has the money right now that he can buy the club. So there is a golden opportunity here for Al Thani to go in with another bid, go in with an offer the Glazers will not say no to, in ahead of Radcliffe, and get the job done, whilst Jim Ratcliffe's still waiting in line at the bank to get his loan. But it definitely will be an interesting couple of weeks. So certainly, according to the Daily Mirror, Ineos billionaire Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Qatari banker Sheikh Hassim bin Hamad Al Thani have emerged as the two leading candidates, and Sky News are reporting the board met on Thursday to talk over the takeover, but have not agreed on giving one of the candidates a period of exclusivity to talk with Glazers. So they're saying Radcliffe remains the leading candidate, but the Glazers are in no rush to push forward a decision, and nothing is expected before the final day of the season, which will be Saturday, the FA Cup final, of course. So, how do we feel about that, guys? Let me know down below. I'll get this into the comments for you guys as well, just so we can refer back to it if needed, because people always join in different times, and I do like to be able to keep everybody up to date on the problems and what is going on with the club. So I will get this in here, of course, as always. You guys can see it and review it. So we will move on now from Althani and the boost his bid has got. And we'll move on very quickly to a little bit of disappointing news to many United fans. That is Harry Kane. Oh, got a comment in there as well from Chris. Great show, mate. Keep up the good work. Thanks very much, man. I do appreciate it. Support has been fantastic on the channel all season long, and especially in the last few weeks. A lot of great guys joining in with the community, new people every stream, joining in, chatting with each other, and that's what it's all about. I mean, that's what we love on the channel. That's what you guys love as well. Live streams, definitely a great way for us all to connect and talk about how we're feeling. And of course, there's always something very interesting comes up on these ones. Lucky Singh has said, sell Manchester United up. Yes, 100% agreeing with that. Just sell the club, because what are you holding on for? Just take the money on the table. Because what if Alfani goes and Radcliffe just have enough, and then the Glazers are stuck with United, which isn't making them money anymore? I mean, that's a disaster for those guys. So they do have to move on with that. And I think United need to move on as a club from Harry Kane. According to Talk Sport, who have come out with, see if I can get that into the comments for you guys. Yes, Tottenham Hotspur are confident of keeping Harry Kane this summer. So, are we surprised with this? I don't think so. I think whenever Daniel Levy is coming out with, he will sooner die for selling Harry Kane to an English team. I don't think we're going to be selling Kane. We will not be getting him this summer. I think overall, whilst he's a fantastic player, if we're going to spend 100 million on Harry Kane, I think we can spend 120 million on Osman. For a player who is 6 years younger, I think a lot more room to grow. So that could be my personal choice. Lucky Singh says no to Harry Kane as well. So a couple of people are joining in with that. And as well, guys, keep voting on the poll. Will Qatar buy United? We do have it further up the chat. I will just pin that up there as well, so you guys can have a quick check at it throughout the stream if you do want to refer back to it. And chances are I will be referring back to it as well. Let's just see. So there it is. Kieran Maguire. So, I can see some more comments coming in and plenty more votes on the poll. 93% of you guys are going for yes to Qatar buying Manchester United. So, Harry Kane, back to where we were. Fantastic player, no doubt about it. Absolutely world class in every sense of the word. I think he's a brilliant player. One of the best strikers. Apologies. I don't know what's happened there. I was just clicking on something and it's just started playing United People's TV. I do apologize for that. Overall, Harry Kane, fantastic player. Yes, absolutely brilliant. Over the last 10 years, I don't think there's been a more consistent striker in the Premier League. But I think at age 30 for 100 million, that's not a good deal. I think Harry Kane, at his age, with 1 year left on his contract, I think 60, 70 million is probably a fair valuation. We know that it will not, he will not go for that much. And it just comes down to what you guys want. So I will ask you guys, do you want Harry Kane, yes or no? So get those thoughts into the comments. I personally don't want Harry Kane for that price. I think brilliant player. He would come in, he would score 30 goals next season, no problem. But whenever we're talking about longer than next season, after 2 seasons, 3 seasons, is he still going to be that guy? I don't think so, honestly. I can see a comment gone in there. from Lucky Singh. I just have it on my phone as well, guys, just so I can always check the chat. And he has said Glazers now want to sell United. I hope they do, man. I hope they just sell United to Al Thani or whoever it is going to be, so we can move on and get moving as a team, because it's going to be a big season next year. Going to be a lot of things to be excited for, a lot of things, of course, for us all to get excited about. A big transfer window, big players coming in. We don't want to be talking about the Glazers anymore, because we've been doing this for a while. We have 18 years. A lot of United fans will not have been born before the Glazers bought United, and on top of that, we have been doing this sale from November. This has been a very, very long thing. I distinctly remember the day I was talking. I was on a stream, one of the first streams I actually did on the channel, and we were talking about Ronaldo leaving. Then all of a sudden, it came out Glazers wanted to sell. So we have been doing this from before the World Cup, and it was meant to be over by when? March? Either the start or the end of March. And here we are, a couple of days of June. We are not moving forward at all with it. So it is very frustrating. We want this, of course, to move on. So I do agree completely with what Lucky Singh's saying in the comments. Any more thoughts, guys? Get them down. Long process, says Lucky. Yes, very, very long process. Look, we knew it was going to be a long process. We always knew that this would be dragged out, but I don't think anybody really expected it to be as bad and as long as what it has been, as drawn out, as frustrating as what it has been. But that's just the way it has gone down. So I can see loads of people are joining in. It's good to see you guys with us as always. If you guys want to get voting on the poll in the comments, we are asking, will Qatar buy Man United? This, of course, is coming out from the latest news from Manchester United. And Kieran Maguire, a very reliable sports journalist, has said, in terms of his financial expertise, Jim Ratcliffe does not have the money in his bank account right now to pay for Manchester United. What he would have to do is get a loan from the bank, or he would have to go and sell a lot of his assets, and that is going to take time. Al Thani, on the other hand, Qatar, on the other hand, they have more than 5 or 6 billion in cash that they could spend right this moment. So that gives them a chance to move ahead. That gives them the opportunity to jump in front of Radcliffe, put in a better bid, if that's what it's going to take, and just get it done. And that's what United can do. That would be fantastic, in my opinion. Moves the sale process along. So I have just been scrolling here, guys, because I did want to find the very, very latest on Harry Kane, so we can bring this with you guys. So Tottenham Hotspur have said they are determined to resist United's attempt to sign Harry Kane this summer. So that is coming from John Cross from the Mirror. And Daniel Levy is adamant they will not sell to a Premier League rival. Well, Daniel Levy, I have news for you, and the news is you are not a rival of Manchester United. Tottenham Hotspur are not a rival for United. If they keep Harry Kane, they might finish 6th or 7th. That's it. Manchester United will be going for league titles next season. You are not our rival. That would be like if we wanted to buy Moses Caicedo from Brighton and they would say, we're not selling to a rival club. They have to be smart. They have to realise. And I genuinely don't understand this. I mean, Harry Kane, as good as he is, he can walk for free next season. And yet Tottenham are determined that they're going to back themselves into a corner. They're going to say, we didn't sell Harry Kane. They're going to celebrate that like a trophy. They haven't won anything in like 70 years. So I hope Tottenham Hotspur realize that the best thing they can do is sell Harry Kane, whether it is to United or it is to somebody else, because the money they would get, that would give whoever their manager is going to be a bit of a transfer budget. But I'm not concerned about Tottenham. I'm concerned solely about United, and what we are talking about at the moment, of course, is Harry Kane. Now, I think Kane brings up an interesting dilemma. I think everybody in this chat, I can see everybody is joining in, so welcome to the channel, guys. I think everybody would say the same thing, and that is, we desperately need a striker. And does Harry Kane guarantee goals? Absolutely, he does. But Levy is going to screw Harry Kane again. Levy screwed him out of a move to Man City 2 years ago. Levy is screwing him out of a move to Manchester United. And ultimately, that's his choice. If that's what he wants, if that's where they're going as a club, that's fine by me. We can go out and get someone better. So, new comments coming in. Lucky Singh says, Levy stance very strong. Yes, it is a strong stance, but I think that's a good stance you can make. Perhaps if you had Harry Kane on a 5-year contract, he's on a 1-year contract. We can see Irfan is in here as well. Welcome back, man. Good to see you on the channel again. Says, hi, I like a young number 9, Victor Osimhen and Kudus, Mohamed Kudus and Lautaro Martinez. Yes, 3 very good options. I really like Kudus. I think he's a very interesting player. Can play through the middle, can play further back, can play either side as well. Very versatile and can even play a little bit deeper down the pitch. In terms of Lautaro Martinez, I do like the player a lot. I think he had a very unfortunate World Cup where he wasn't in the best of form, and then he kind of became like an internet meme. People were calling him the next Higuain, but he definitely is better than that. And Osimhen would be my first choice. I think I would go for Victor Osimhen. I think he is so talented, so good. And at only 24, the guy has gone to Italy and done well, gone to France, done well. There is no doubt in my mind he could go to England and do well as well. So guys, I can see more people joining in, so welcome to the stream. If you guys want to get voting on the poll, the question is, will Qatar buy Man United? Now, that we are reacting, of course, to what has come out from Kieran Maguire, a very reliable football finance expert, and he basically has looked through the accounts of Ineos and as well the 92 Foundation owned by Sheikh Jassim Al Thani. So what he is basically saying is that Jim Ratcliffe doesn't have the money right now to go and buy United, but Sheikh Jassim does. So that could be a big boost to him, because Ratcliffe has to go. He'll have to ask the bank for a loan, or he will have to go and sell some of his assets. Lucky Singh says Vlahovic, Ansu Fati, 2 strikers. I would like Vlahovic. I really like the player. I'm not too sure about Ansu Fati through the middle, but I think he could definitely be a good player if we brought him in. But I think we're quite well sorted in the wing areas. You know, Rashford, Garnacho, Anthony, Sancho, Amad Diallo as well. Irfan says, yes, you are right. Victor Osimhen, money is not a problem. 150 million. I think, yeah. I mean, I think Napoli would take around 120 to 150. I think when you consider that you'd be spending 100 million on a 30-year-old striker, or 120 million on a 24-year-old striker, he hasn't even hit his best years. I think the choice is obvious from those two, and that's what I would go with. I would go with Victor Osimhen. For me, that would be my personal choice. But any more thoughts, guys? Of course, get them into the comments. And it's good to see you guys back on the stream. Of course, we're trying to bring a lot of live content, and we will be all summer, of course. So thank you very much for joining with us on that one. Of course, Manchester United Player of the Year awards were last night. So if you guys haven't seen, the United Players Player of the Award, so that's voted by the players, the Fans Player of the Year award both went to Marcus Rashford. So congratulations to him. Definitely one of our best players all season, and without his goals, certainly wouldn't have won any trophies or finished in the top 4. So any more thoughts, guys? Get them into the comments. Always interactive in the comments, and we always read out every comment. I do promise that. That is something that I really believe in, is giving you guys a bit of a voice, because you guys, you give me time, take time out of your day to watch me sit and talk here. Least I can do is read out your thoughts and comments as well. Let's see. Lucky Singh says he's a great goal scorer, Victor. Rashford, no doubt. Seems like some guys are happy with the Player of the Year award shout. And yeah, we will. Let me just see where we are. There we are. Perfect. Yes. So Harry Kane could not be happening. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, unfortunately. But there are other players being linked to Manchester United, and we are going to talk about them right now. So let's have a look at the latest in terms of the Manchester United transfer news. So, as we know, several players being linked to Manchester United at the moment, of which 2 of the main names are Kim Min Jae and Mason Mount. Of course, we have just spoke about Harry Kane, but let's talk about Mount. Let's talk about Kim Min Jae, because there is a real possibility of these two players coming, and it's whether or not they fit what we need. I think that is going to be interesting. I think Mason Mount, a good player, no doubt in my mind. Kim Min Jae, I think he's perfect for us. Irfan says Martinez is a monster, and Lucky Singh says well done Rashford. Yeah, Martinez definitely is a monster, and yes, well done Rashford. Brilliant season from him. Very, very happy with his level of performance, what he has done all season. Very, very important for Manchester United. So let's move on to Mason Mount. So this is a rumour that started last week, I would say. I think we were just going live, and I think United need to be careful. We don't need to spend too much money. New comment in there from I don't have my glasses on, so I'm trying to read it here. Widodo, I think. Glazers out, yes, absolutely. And Shane Janisan has says Man United need a good striker. Can it be possible to score at least 35 goals? United will title race. Yes, I think a good goal scorer will definitely put us into a title race. So thank you very much for both of your comments, guys. All comments are read out as always. Really do appreciate you guys. So around about an hour ago, Fabrizio Romano, Mr. Here We Go himself, has been speaking about Mason Mount. So this is just in, and Manchester United are really pushing behind the scenes to sign Mount. That is coming from the most reliable transfer guy you can possibly ask, and that is Fabrizio Romano. He has come out with that himself. So I think in terms of Mason Mount, fantastic player. I would enjoy United signing him. I think we do need midfield players. I think it comes down to money. I think if it's any more than 60 million, absolutely no chance. That wouldn't be my preference. But I think Mount could be a good player. Any more thoughts, guys? Keep getting them in and vote on the poll as well. Irfan says Mount is a big flop. Go to Liverpool. I mean, he might do. There was talk, of course, Liverpool wanted him. They seem to be going for Alexis McAllister instead. I think Alexis McAllister is a little bit better than Mason Mount as well. So that would be my own preference in terms of that. I think if we could get McAllister, very good player, I think Caicedo would be my favourite player for us to sign. And it would be annoying because, make no mistake about it, guys, we should have bought him several years ago when Ollie was still the manager. So let's talk about Mount. So do we think he could be a good player? I think so. I think he's a good player. I think definitely not had best season, but at his very best, he certainly is a good player. And I think what United could do is if we offer 45, 50 million, I think that's a decent deal. But I would not be signing Mason Mount first. I think the first player we need to sign is a striker because we're going to have to spend big money on a striker. It's going to have to be around about 100 million. There's no doubt in my mind that that's what it's going to take. Irfan says Mason Mount, okay. No, sorry, Lucky Singh says Mason Mount, okay. And Irfan says no to Mason Mount. I think I think he's an okay player. I think he would definitely come in and do okay for United. But I think what we need to do is spend big money on the striker first. If we have 150, 200 million, let's not go and spend 60 million on Mason Mount and then go out and buy Kim Min Jae for 40 million as well. Let's get the striker first, get the most important positions. And Irfan's agreeing with me. Yes, number 9. I completely agree. United's big problem has been scoring goals, and that's why I think we have to sort that position out first. We've seen today it has been confirmed, seemingly from the media, that Sabitzer and Weghorst will not be staying at United next season. We will not be bringing them back. So what we need to do is go out and buy at least one striker. And I think Lucky Singh's been saying this all week. I think Irfan's been saying it as well. We need 2 strikers realistically. We need a starting striker and a backup striker. If you have an Ozyman come in and maybe like a Hoyland or a Gifts Orban could be a good shout. That's 2 good striking options. You have Rashford who can play there as well. So that gives you kind of 3 players who can operate at number 9. And that, for me, is a good level. Irfan says, Neymar news. I will check that out, man. Don't worry. Of course, we always bring you guys the very latest on the show. So I will check out the latest on Neymar, because I'm sure you guys will want to know if Neymar is coming to United. Such a big player, big name player. So I will double check this for you guys. Let me just load it up here. But yeah, I mean, I think we talked about this the other day about Neymar. I'm not sure if he's the smartest signing. I don't know if he's going to be a player who United are going to go for, but I think it's definitely something interesting. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Here it's coming from Santi Awonya, and he is saying Neymar has partnerships with Qatar and the Qatari brand. Their relationships have made a possible signature to Man United if the club is bought by Sheikh Jassim. So that's a big bit of news. Thank you very much for posting that out there, man. I do appreciate that. So I will get that into the comment for you guys. What else are we seeing as well? Aston Villa, Ollie Watkins. I like Ollie Watkins, good player, and could be a decent option. So that's the latest on Neymar. Let me see if there's any more quotes. Yes, there is actually as well. Neymar is seduced to the idea of playing for Man United. He can only see himself at United or PSG again, according to Santiago. He is pretty reliable. I don't know about Neymar. I'm not 100% sure. Lucky Singh is saying as well, Mason Mount, we will need help you with Mohamed Kudus. Yes, I would love to see us buy him from Ajax. Really good player. I can see plenty of people joining in with the stream. So welcome to the stream, guys. Welcome to the channel. If you guys are new, we are running a poll in the comments. Who will buy Man United? Will it be Qatar? Yes or no? Let me know down below on the comments. And we can see at the moment 95% of you guys are saying yes. So big backing for Qatar. New comment is coming in there as well, coming from Alim is David. Sheikh Jassim is successful in buying United, then I'll support Neymar coming. Yeah, I mean, it could be interesting, man. I'm not sure if it's going to happen. I would love us to buy Mbappe if we're going to get anybody from PSG. But yeah, I mean, Neymar, fantastic player, no doubt about it. I'm not sure if it'll happen, though. Irfan says Qatar is coming. Yes. I mean, that is the main talking point of tonight. And for anybody who has just joined us and has been joining in, if you guys check out the pinned message at the very top of the chat, that is the news that is coming out, and it has given Sheikh Jassim, it has given Qatar a bit of a boost in their efforts to buy Manchester United. What it means is that basically Jim Ratcliffe, whilst he is rich and he has plenty of money, he does not have it in cash, so he cannot pay the Glazers the money that they want right now. He either has to go to the bank for a loan or sell his assets. Whereas Qatar, they have the money right now. They can make a faster move, and it means that they can jump in front of them. Why don't we spend big money to get the right players and compete with other clubs like Frankie de Jong, Kylian Mbappe? But it happens if Qatar buys United. It could happen. I think it all comes down to preference as well. I think it was quite clear last summer that Frankie de Jong didn't want to join United. I personally would still love him. I think he's a great player, exactly what we need. And I'm not sure about Mbappe. I don't know if United will sign him. I'm not sure if that's going to be something that happens, but it would be a dream signing. And even Neymar at 30, 31 would still be a dream signing. It could still be fun. And there was talk, of course, that United might go for a loan move for Neymar. So that's something to keep an eye out on as well. I'm sure you guys will be caught up on it as well. And we will be covering the entirety of the transfer window and the takeover on the channel. So for anybody new who wants to join in, guys, don't forget, hit that sub button. Really helps me out. Helps grow the channel and the community. It really is a special growing community on the channel with you guys. But like you rightly said, the striker position should be top priority. Yes, absolutely. I do agree with you. It should be first priority. We need goals in our team. We scored what, like 53, 54 Premier League goals. I think Man City scored 90. They nearly scored twice as much as us. We need goals in our team. And whilst the idea of signing Kim Min Jae is great, whilst the idea of another midfielder, more maybe another centre back, a winger, a Neymar, whilst those are all great ideas and they could definitely help us, we need that number 9 first priority. That has to be number 1 job. In the summer transfer window, we have to say we need a striker. Let's get Osimhen. Let's get Gonzalo Ramos. Let's get Vlahovic or Lautaro Martinez or even Harry Kane if it does happen, if Spurs change their mind. But I don't think Kane will change. I think Kane, if Harry Kane is to leave Tottenham, it will be because he handed in a transfer request. And I don't think he will do that. I think he sees his legacy at Tottenham as a big thing in his career. Obviously, no trophies throughout his entire career. So he definitely will want to stay a legend of Spurs for sure. So, with that in mind, the Inistapan Caicedo, Mike Nyan. Yes, that could be very good players as well, Irfan. I do agree. I like Stefan. I love Caicedo, and I do like Mike Mignan as well. Plus a striker, that could be a great transfer window. Lucky Singh says, fingers crossed, pushing 5.8 to 6 billion for Qatar over the UK. It could happen. That is something to keep an eye on. Certainly for me, Sheikh Jassim, Qatar, they have that kind of money sitting in their bank accounts. They could definitely make that move very quickly. I think they're coming down with a matter of principle. They won't want to spend too much of their money, because if they overspend on United, they will overspend on everything. And it's only fair that regardless of how rich you are, that a fair deal is charged. Because it's not right for them, for the Glazers to say Qatar have to pay us 7 billion, but Radcliffe can pay us 3 billion for half of the club. Like that's not a fair deal. So just because they are richer does not mean you can sit and demand more money from them, in my opinion. But yes, other than that, guys, plenty more to get through on the show tonight. So having looked at Mason Mount, having looked at Harry Kane, and of course the takeover, that's and Neymar as well. Actually, I did forget that we were just talking about Neymar. Sometimes we do get into the comments and I forget just what I was talking about for a moment. But let's talk real quickly here, guys. So according to Mail Sport, Manchester United will not make the signings of Weghorst and Sabitzer permanent this summer. So I'm not surprised. Weghorst definitely not good enough. Chronic is in there as well, saying GGMU. Thank you very much, man. Um, Thank you for joining with us. Yes, so Sabitzer, Weghorst, both of those players going to be leaving United for good in the summer. They will not be coming back. That is the talk coming out of the Daily Mail. Any more thoughts, guys? Get them in. But I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, I definitely think Sabitzer is a better player than Weghorst and would probably have more of an argument instead. But I mean, if Eric Ten Hag doesn't want them both, I think that's okay. I think going from his comments last night where he said United only got stopgap signings in this, that wasn't good enough. So let's see, anything else coming out? According to Simon Stone, this will be something that will interest a couple of you guys. Lucky Singh says, Vlahovic, please. Yes, man, I know you like Vlahovic. I like Vlahovic. I think he could be very good for us. As well, David has says, good thing they're leaving, and if Qatar is buying Man United, it will be easy Qatar to get Mbappe, to be honest. It could be. It all depends on Mbappe. He does seem to want to go to Real Madrid, but we will, of course, United will be up there for Mbappe. Make no mistake about it. Whether it happens or not, we will be up there. So let me just read this one out for you guys, and I will get some of your thoughts on this one. Something that this is a real personal thing, and everybody's opinion will be different. A lot of people will have different thoughts on this one, and it's about Mason Greenwood. So, according to Simon Stone, a very reliable reporter for the BBC and a guy who gets a lot of information directly from Manchester United, he has said United will begin to focus on Mason Greenwood's situation after the FA Cup final. As we know, a couple of months ago, it was announced that no charges would be pressed against Mason Greenwood and that he would not face any criminal proceedings. So, on a technical level, that means that he did not he was never found guilty of doing anything. Now, of course, there are the audios, there are the photos. Everything comes down to personal preference, your own opinion. I'm sure everybody has their own thoughts on this one. Some people will want Greenwood back, some people won't want him back. But let me know in the comments your thoughts. We can see Satwant in there with a Glazers out. Good to see you, man. Thank you very much for joining in with us. Really appreciate it as always. And yeah, in terms of Mason Greenwood coming back to United, I'm kind of like, I think it will be interesting. I think it'll be another thing for Eric Ten Hag to have to work through. I think it is out of his hands. He did say himself. David has said Weghorst has a good work rate, but he's not a right fit. Marcel's a bit too injury prone, although he has had some decent performances. Yes, I think his injury has probably ruined any chance of him staying on. So I do agree with that. And going back to Greenwood real quick, because it is something picking up pace. Eric Ten Hag says he has no real say in what happens, and it will not be his choice regardless. We can see another comment in there as well coming from Omela, I think. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't say 100%. And he says, if Qatar buy Man United, we will be back on top as Premier League giant once again. And Irfan says Mason Green will go in as go to AC Milan. He could do. There is talk, of course, that he might be sold this summer. It will be interesting to see what happens. He is still a Manchester United employee. He was never fired. He was never released from his contract. So United could sell him. And that is another potential avenue here. I think Mason Greenwood should be sent out on loan for a year and then let the management monitor the situation, make a final decision. I think that's an interesting choice. I think I'm not sure. I don't know. Do you know what it comes down to, guys? I think it comes down to sponsorships. If sponsorships and those who are giving United a lot of money are throwing resistance and saying they do not want Greenwood back, I think United will sell him or move him on as on loan, as David has said there. I think if there's no real pressure from sponsors and everything seems okay that way, and if the players are happy, Eric Ten Hag is happy, he could be back. And it comes down to preferences. It comes down to your guys' own personal thoughts and beliefs. But I think that's the reality of the situation, and I think that's where we will be going with Greenwood. Time will tell. Of course, the next couple of weeks are going to be very interesting. Warren Kelly says, loan Mason out, let the dust settle, and bring him back in. There is thought that United could do that. I think it was David said that or Lucky Singh had said that Mason Greenwood could go to AC Milan potentially. There was talk of him going to Italy to rekindle his career in some way, shape, or form. I think very unfortunate situation, and I think it will be one we have to wait and see. It's going to be something us fans have very little say in, so I do expect it to be a wait and see. We can see Irfan has said Anthony and Ahmad, yes, two very good young players at United. I think it'll be interesting what happens with Ahmad. So, brilliant season at Sunderland in the Championship. Really, really good. And he's done very, very well all season long for them. It's whether or not we want to loan him out. I think Ahmad, if we cannot give him enough game time, I would think about loaning him. If we can get him into the team, I would love him to stay because he is so, so good. We can see comments coming in here as well from Lucky Singh. Veghorst, great work rate, no product, no goals. Yes. What is it? He got 2 goals all season at United. It's just not good enough. And yeah, I mean, he was playing for Burnley for a reason, in my opinion, and just not at the level needed for Manchester United. That's just my thoughts on it. Eric Ten Hag seemingly thinks the same. I think he was always going to be a guy brought in to do a job for the short term. He was an emergency signing, I guess, and he will be moved on. He will definitely be sold. Let me just check as well here for you guys. I think we're going to try get you guys some news on Kim Min Jae. Let me just check if anything has come out, because there's always Manchester United news breaking, because we are the biggest club in the world and we always manage to make ourselves into the headlines. So let me just check. So of course, Newcastle United were in for him as well. I think Kim would be a brilliant signing. Him a couple of weeks ago, United were definitely very interested in buying him. And it all depends on where we're going to be going with Kim Min Jae. I am working on a video at the moment. I plan on getting it up tomorrow, guys. It's going to be Kim Min Jae, strengths, weaknesses, where he fits in at United, and ultimately if United should sell him. I think, yes, from what I've looked at, from the research I've done making the video, I think Kim could be a brilliant player. But let me know your thoughts. Would you guys like to see Kim Min Jae brought in? And as well, keep voting on the poll in the comments for anybody joining in. And that is, will Qatar buy Man United? I do apologize for that one, guys. Quick slip of the tongue. According to Santi Awunya as well, talking about Neymar, and he says Neymar has rejected a €400 million offer from Saudi Arabia. Manchester United have the advantage to sign him. So that comes back to what Irfan was saying, and a couple of other guys as well. I can see comments coming in here as well. Who is that? United for life, I think. Yes, it is. We will never compete with City without a similar ownership model. Having an ownership model like Sir Jim would be like going to a gunfight with a knife. I've no doubt about it. Qatar will get it done. Thank you very much for your comments. And I think that's something a lot of guys have been sharing all week and across the entire takeover. That there is a confidence from you guys that Qatar will get the job done. I think, like, this is just going off my own intuition. I think they still could get the job done. I definitely think so. United for Life as well, saying Kim Min Jae would be the perfect next to Martinez. Yes, I think they would be very good together. I would love to see it. I think if your three centre backs are Varane, Martinez, and Kim Min Jae, and you have Lindelof as well, that is four brilliant centre backs. And it comes back to what you were saying about Man City. Pep has John Stones, Laporte, Diaz, Nathan Atke, and Akanji. We can definitely have four good centre backs as well. That's what we're going to need to do. Good players in backup positions as well. That's what we have to do. So let's see. In terms of other transfer news coming through, Diogo Costa from Porto. So this is coming from Portuguese outlets. So this is potentially a new goalkeeper coming in. I'm not sure how I feel about paying 75 million for a goalkeeper when we need a striker, but this is coming from Portuguese sources. Probably not the most reliable, but we will bring it to you guys as always. Let me just here. There we go. As well, David has said, I would welcome Kim Min Jae into the squad. Yes, me too. I think brilliant player, would be very good for Manchester United. So Costa could move to the Premier League. He is desired by United to admit to playing his 75 million euro release clause. He has accepted he will play his last game for FC Porto. So I think this is interesting. Porto, of course, have cup final, and Diogo Costa has been left out of the squad for that. So perhaps something is happening in relation to Diogo Costa coming to the Premier League. I think whilst a goalkeeper, it could be a nice signing to make. Not my priority. 75 million on a goalkeeper, 60 million on Mason Mount, 40 million on Kim Min Jae. When we do not have a striker, I think that could be absolutely stupid. And I'm sure you guys are feeling the exact same way. We want to see us improve across the pitch, yes, but what we do want as well is to go out and get that striker, get the big name up front. So, that's definitely priority number one for Manchester United. Go get that striker, get improving up front, and then we can worry about the rest of the team. Because I think if you bring in a good goal scorer, I think that genuinely gives us another 9 points across a league season by itself. And we finished on 75 points. So that would put us right up beside Arsenal if we got there. And from there, you can just keep building your team, keep building and improving. Irfan has says Real Madrid is the big dog. Yes, absolutely. Real Madrid are the big dog. And if they want, I do fear about going up against Madrid for players. They could go out and really improve. United for Life saying Costa is as good as Ederson when it comes to playing from the back. Very comfortable with the ball in his feet. Exactly what Ten Hag wants. Yes, brilliant point and very, very good point. I do agree with what you're saying. I think Eric Ten Hag in his interview last night, he even said that he would love a goalkeeper good with his feet, and there is no guarantee of David De Gea always being number one. Everybody needs competition. So I think that's good because De Gea, I think he probably will be number one next season. I think we need a striker more. I think we need more in our midfield before looking at the goalkeeper. But I think Eric Ten Hag knows that he does need competition for these players, and that will only be a good thing for United because competition means that players are always playing well. And I mean, you think about it, guys. Daz Sweet says Neymar is coming. Would be very interesting, man. Good to see you back on the channel as well. Really appreciate all the support across the videos, lives all week, and the entire month as well. You guys have been absolutely brilliant. I think Costa a very good player. Eric Ten Hag knows what he wants. We want competition, and competition is only a good thing. It means, like, if Luke Shaw plays bad, Malacia comes in, or if Ericsson's playing bad, Fred can come in, or if Casemiro's like injured or whatever, McTominay can come in. Or if we got Kim Min Jae, he could come in for Varane if he got injured. I think De Gea needs a bit of competition. I think he's not getting it from Tom Heaton. He's not getting it from Jack Butland. So I think some competition will be good. Is that the new kit you're wearing? No, Daz. It's literally just an Adidas top, just out of like Jetty or something. Per Shures says, Irfan, yeah, I mean, Per Shures was a good player at one stage, very highly rated by a lot of people, and I'm not sure exactly what happened to him. His development, it seemed to stutter a bit, but I do think one stage he definitely was looking good. There was talk of him potentially being the Matthias de Ligt replacement at Ajax long term, so that all remains to be seen. Grabbing a quick drink for you guys as well. Per shares. So let's have another look at the rest of the transfer news for Manchester United. You guys, you love the transfer news. I love transfer news as well, and something we will be bringing you guys all summer long. So make sure to hit that sub button to join in to stay around for much more transfer news and takeover news coming up in the coming weeks and months. We, of course, will be covering all of pre-season. So if you guys do want to support the channel, you know what to do. Really helps me out. And yeah, let's see. Where are we? So according to Forbes, now this came out this came out late last night. So talks have intensified between Manchester United and Mason Mount. So we will talk about this. Because I think it needs to be discussed in a little bit more detail. I know we talked about this a while back on the stream, but just for anybody else joining in, can see more comments flying in here. United for Life says Costa is as good as Ederson. I think we've had that. Daz Neymar is coming. Here we go. We can sell many players and make a huge amount of money to get every player we want. We can sell Henderson, Maguire, McTominay, Martial, Greenwood, Bailly, Williams, Telles, Wanzebe. That's 120 to 150 million in sales. Only, yes, I think sales will be big. And I think, if you guys are thinking about it logically, like, although we don't think they're great players, Scott McTominay is probably worth 25 million. Harry Maguire is probably worth 20 million. Nottingham Forest want to pay 30 million for Dean Henderson. There is money to be made this summer, and with that, we can invest more in the team. Sir Justice is back in. What's up, mate? How are you doing? I watched an interesting video on YouTube which talked about the man being the presenter. Basically, everything you're seeing on the internet about Man United being sold is clickbait, and the sale of United is already done and dusted, or at least secretly done. And new comment as well from Adam Maloney. Martial injured for the final. I haven't seen that. I will double check it. I would absolutely believe that. And I think that's an interesting point that Sir Justice has raised, that a lot of it is clickbait. A lot of it will be coming from United telling the newspapers fake stories to keep the share price going. So what I do think is a real possibility that there has been a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Things always do happen behind the scenes before we actually know about it, so that's a real possibility. So thanks very much for that comment. And yeah, so this is coming from the United Stand. Mark Goldbridge, of course. Anthony Martial is out of the FA Cup final with a hamstring injury that he sustained against Fulham. Not great. Persher is very good in defense, says Irfan. I think he's good, man. I will definitely have another look at him in some more depth. I haven't covered his career too much. Pastor Milner is in there as well. If people but United, we can't fail to buy big clubs. I'm happy seeing them managing our big club. Yeah, absolutely, completely agree with you, man. And Daz is saying if they wanted, Jim would have been done a long time ago. It's an interesting point. Radcliffe, of course, has been allegedly leading the race. But going back to the main point, and just back to what I was saying there really quickly. So Adam Maloney posted out in the comments that Martial is out of the FA Cup final. That has been confirmed. Anthony Martial out with a hamstring tear against Fulham, so he might have played his last game for Man United already. So that's not great for him, not great for United. It looks like it might be Weghorst in the FA Cup final against Man City. Personally, I think we should go Garnacho, Rashford, Sancho, and then play Bruno, Fred, Casemiro as a midfield. But we don't know what Eric Ten Hag will go for. So it will be interesting seeing that one. Oh snap! Anthony Martial's injured. What's wrong with this fella? Says David. I don't know, man. It's not. It isn't great. Like. You have to think at this stage that he might be done at United because he just cannot stay fit. It's really unfortunate. Brilliant player, so technically good, such a promising young player, and I really have rated him at United. I've always wanted him to succeed, but it's whether or not that's going to happen now. it doesn't look like it. It looks like he might have played his last game for United. So very disappointing. And that is the club are confirming that, and that has come from Manchester United directly. Irfan says time is over. Yes, I think it might be over for Anthony Martial. Um, Very, very disappointing, and we need goals desperately. Martial, he has scored a couple goals recent weeks. Would have been disappointing to see him out, but we're gonna have to move on. I think this just shows that we cannot rely upon him. Um, we cannot rely upon Anthony Martial, and that's why we need at least one striker. David says, "Let Ten Hag bring the striker from the academy." Yeah, I mean, who've we got? Harley McNeil, maybe. I don't know. I think Rashford through the middle is probably the most realistic. I think better than Weghorst, and we'll play Garnacho. Start him in that match. Let's see what Garnacho can do with a start against Man City. It'll be a big match for him, but it will be very interesting to see how he gets on. So, in other news, oh, I can see some more comments coming in as well from you guys. Let me just load these up. Um, One going in there from United for Life. United is already sold and they're sorting things out away from the media before the announcement is made after the FA Cup. Even the new kit is similar to the Qatari international team. Martial sneezed this morning and got injured. And Irfan says, good night. Thank you very much, man. Thank you for joining us. Really appreciate the support as always. So, something as well we want to talk about. And I think United for Life could have a good point there. I think there's definitely things done behind the scenes. It will be done before we know about it, in my opinion. Lucky Singh says, blow Martial. Yeah, I mean, if you blow a Martial, he might get injured, unfortunately. Yes, so we will talk about this one. This is some news that came out earlier on, so that's just a quick tweet pasted into the chat. And that's Edwin van der Sar has left Manchester United. Big talk, of course, about him before potentially coming to United as a CEO. I don't know if that's going to happen. I know Ajax fans are very annoyed with him for selling so many players last year, letting Ten Hag go, really screwed Ajax over. So I don't think he will be on the way to Manchester United. New comment as well. So Lucky Singh saying Anthony Martial is below. Yes. And how many players will be signed this season as well? Says Stefan. Good question. I think let's run through it here. Let's go. So at least one striker. So we'll call up one striker. Then we're going to have Kim Min Jae seems to be very realistic. Mason Mount seems to be advancing. So there's 3. I think talk of Jeremy Frimpong could be interesting. Potentially as a bonus signing. Maybe 4 and a free agent. I would say 5. I think 5 is maybe the most realistic. I think 4 players for money and maybe at least 1 free agent. Van der Sar would be perfect for United. He's worked with Ten Hag and he is a United legend, says United for Life. Yeah, I mean, could be very interesting. Do I think he's better than Richard Arnold? Probably. Lucky Singh says, same as Anthony. Yeah, I mean, 2 players, definitely too injury prone in my opinion. I like Anthony, but he needs to get fit. He needs to get strong again. And as for Van der Sar, I think it could be interesting. He could come to United and make a big difference at the board level. I think if you had a guy running the club as CEO and he knew the club, he was a footballer himself, could be really good. Please, 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 Glazer family, we need the Qataris. Please, please, please. Thank you very much for that. And that is coming from Ellis. So thank you very much for that. And for your comment. Really appreciate all the support on the channel, guys, as always. Any more thoughts, make sure to get them into the chat down below. Here, Stefan says Harry Kane doesn't come United. We should definitely go for Victor Osimhen. And United for Life has also said, what striker do you want? So I think Harry Kane, brilliant player. If he came, I wouldn't complain. But I think I want someone younger. I think Gonzalo Ramos or Victor Osimhen. That would be my choices. Let's go for a young striker, someone who can add some pace, add some directness, and grow and improve at the club. I think overall, probably Osimhen's a better player at the moment. But Ramos could be a very good option. And Bruno Fernandes has been talking about Gonzalo Ramos. So I will give you guys some of what Bruno has been saying because, of course, Bruno, potentially United captain next season, could be very interesting. And if he's talking about Gonzalo Ramos, maybe he knows something's happening. Maybe Agent Bruno is in the building. So let me just get these quotes up for you guys. Bruno. Yeah, so there's definitely something going on with Gonzalo Ramos. I think absolutely brilliant player. Really, really such a deadly finisher. Could be really positive for United. Really good signing. Someone I've wanted all season long. Pastor Milner's in there. Sale, Martial, and Fred bringing new faces. Most of all, Maguire out. Yeah, absolutely. Sell Harry Maguire. Definitely needs to go, in my opinion. I'm sure you guys are feeling the exact same way. So, I'm trying to get you guys the latest on Gonzalo Ramos here, but my computer is a little bit slow. Lucky Singh says Glazers have to approve 5 or 6 players United can buy. Yeah, I mean, I think what they need to do is, I think if you're the Glazers, you could go United need to, you can sign off on like 150 million of club money for them to buy some players, and then when the sale comes in, the new owner can put some more money into the club to buy more players. Daz says things went very sour for Van der Sar. I don't think this one for us. Yeah, it did definitely go very sour